Hi everyone, today I'll show you how to work a 4-stitch centered decrease. In the example I'll be talking about the pattern for the wild sea hat, which is knitted in half fisherman's rib, so that's what you're seeing here. And here is one of these 4-stitch centered decreases that I have worked before. So the idea is that you have one center stitch into which the decreases lean into, and you decrease 4 stitches at a time. You have to work this decrease over 5 stitches, and because the wild sea hat is knitted in half fisherman's rib, the decreases are always done during a half fisherman's rib round. So remember that when you're encountering a knit stitch, you'll have to go into the stitch below. So this is the place where I need to work my decreases, and the gist of it is that you basically have one middle stitch, which is this one here, and the side stitches will always be passed over in order to create a centered decrease. So to start off, you will slip the first stitch knitwise. The first stitch here is a knit stitch, so I'll go into the stitch below from the front, slip it off. Next one is a purl, again going from the front, take it off knitwise. The next stitch here, that's going to be our middle stitch, that is knitted. So go into the stitch below, knit. Now you'll pass over the second stitch that was slipped, which in this case is the purl stitch. So we'll just take this and pass it over to decrease. And now you will move this middle stitch from the right to the left needle, and you will pass over the second stitch on the left needle, which is now this purl stitch here. There we go. Now you'll pass this first stitch on the left needle back to the right needle, and you will pass over the very first slipped stitch, which was a knit stitch. And remember, we went into the stitch below, so we will actually see 2 loops here because this was a knit stitch which we slipped from the stitch below. That's just what they'll look like in half fisherman's rib. So both of these loops belong to the one knit stitch that we slipped in the beginning, so they get both passed over the very first stitch. And there we go. And now, before we slip this first stitch on the right needle back to the left to pass over the last one here, we have to actually go in to the stitch below, because this is a knit stitch, so we need to make sure that we're able to pass both of these loops over. So we'll just go in from the back, so purl wise, pop them over on the left needle, and now we'll slip our first stitch from the right needle to the left needle and pass over these 2 loops, which are the 2 loops from that knit stitch because we went in below. Okay, there we are. And now you can see this is our center stitch here, and we have passed over all of these stitches, and that creates our 4-stitch center decrease. And now we're just going to have to slip that stitch back to the right needle, and we'll continue knitting in pattern, which for this one means a purl stitch. And that is how you work a 4-stitch centered decrease.